Don, what advice do you have for investors who are currently long or holding the Magnificent Seven compared to the other 493 stocks in the S&P 500?
Investors need to worry about the extended valuations of Mag 7 primarily, despite the fact that their earnings growth has been decreasing over the last several quarters, whereas the rest of the market has just finished an excellent earnings season, and they have a reasonable valuation, and we think that those companies are going to do much better as the market broadens.
So if you want to own technology but want to avoid the Magnificent Seven or just hold on to it, not add to your position, where should you be looking?
Well, we find the semiconductor space and the equipment space to be actually relatively attractive. These companies are generating free cash flow hand over fist, and they actually tend to pay a dividend as well, which is one of our focuses.
Well, Conning does have a dividend strategy. Tell me about your particular strategy and why I want to own dividend stocks right now when, once again, I could just go into those Mag 7 and hope they continue to take off.
That's true, but we find dividend stocks to be attractive because they provide a consistent income stream and they tend to be lower risk than the broader market. If you take a look at the overall dividend space, they tend to have about 85% of the risk of the broader market. And that's very, very compelling, particularly for an investor that wants lower risk.
And speaking of risk, we're heading into a tenuous time of year. There's generally a little bit extra volatility when traders come back from the beach and you start off in September, heading into October. So what are your thoughts heading into this historically volatile period?
We do think there's going to be volatility like there typically is. We think that could hit the Mag 7 in particular. We really do expect some multiple conversion in terms of price to earnings ratios between the two groups. If that happens, it's hard to say. Is the Mag 7 going to go down? Is it going to go up? And how will the S&P 493 catch up?
And then finally, I mentioned historical market tendencies. Does this Mag 7 phenomenon remind you of any other periods in market history?
It does. It does. I think a lot of people lived through the tech bubble, but that's not really the analog, I don't think, that is appropriate for the Mag 7. I'd go all the way back to the Nifty 50 of the late 60s and early 70s. These companies were supposed to be buy and hold forever. They were going to go up forever. And they had very, very high multiples and growth rates that were shrinking. We see a little bit more of that in the Mag 7 now. And these companies are probably going to go up until they don't go up anymore.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and talking about it.